For the Interbank, I'm Mauricio Prado. Alongside me is Allan and our special guest, multimedia reporter, Gracia Espinosa.
She's going to be our new Fan Trust Student Union multimedia reporter for this upcoming year. And we've heard a lot about you, Gracia.
Well, thank you for the introduction. I have to be honest, I am a little nervous, but okay, I'm going to try to explain who I am. Well, I am from Spain. I was born in the capital, Madrid, and I studied journalism in the Complutense University. Well, I moved 1 year ago to improve my skills as a journalist, and I wanted to improve of course, my English because I think it's very important in this. Well, in journalism to speak more than one language. So that's why I came here. And of course, the audiovisual industry is very important here because I would like to be a reporter to work at a TV station. So that's a summary of to try to explain who I am and why I'm here.
Wow. And since, Gracia, I believe from you taking this multimedia reporter position at Interbank, this will be Mauricio and I's last episode of the Red Coach podcast. But Gracia, it'll be kind of like we were wanting to actually pass off the torch almost.
Yeah, because if not, our videographer is going to be mad.
Yeah, but you will be the next coming host now for the Interbank. How do you feel about that?
Well, I am nervous, guys, because I watched all your episodes of the last summer. I have to say that you did a very good job. So I'm going to try to do my best. Well, and to try to talk about different topics. I would like to talk about students with special needs. Here at Fancy College, I would like to talk about cinema. I would like to talk about comics. So at the end, I want to do the same that you did, guys. I would like to do not a speech. I would like to talk with people and to have a good conversation and enjoy it. I think it's the most important.
Yeah, I mean, that is the biggest part, especially from the journey that you've had as well, coming from a different country. I know, like, from my family from the past, like, yeah, my dad came here from Scotland, but I know probably a lot of our viewers as well, they've probably traveled around, and that is quite a big leap to take.
Well, for me, it's difficult in this moment to speak in other language because I am bilingual, so... Well, I'm not bilingual, sorry. That means that I have to translate everything in my mind. I don't know if, Mauricio, you have the same problem.
Same, exactly.
So I have to translate everything in my mind. And sometimes I am like, I don't know if I am speaking properly or I don't know if people understood what I tried to say. But yeah, for me, at the same time, I try to overcome this feeling that I cannot do it in other language. Of course, I would like to invite to other people or to other students who have this same feeling that I cannot do it in English. That yeah, you can do it. I'm here. I'm with this spectacular two journalists. So if I can, you can. So I hope I can do it well.
I think you'll do a great job. And honestly, though, where were you working before this, though?
Well, I was working, my last job in Spain, I was a reporter for a local TV station because sometimes people think that I have to be in a very big TV station. I am thinking, for example, here in Canada, CBC, CTV, but sometimes when you want to learn and you want to start, the best choice, it will be a little place like a local newspaper, a local TV station, local journalism. So because all the people who are working there, they have time to give you detail how you can do this, how you can do that, and we don't appreciate that. It's my experience, not only from my country, from here, because when we finish the studies here, oh, I want to go to Toronto. I don't know if you had the same feeling, but there are a lot of good jobs here in London to start as a journalist. So right now, that's why I'm here, because I want to improve as a journalist. And if I have the opportunity, of course, to go to be on TV, and all the people who can watch my the newscast and watch my job, wonderful. But now I prefer to stay here, step by step, Alex.
Aw.
And how do you feel the industry is here comparing to, because you work in Spain, so how do you think that your field is different from here?
Wow. For me, the television is very different from Europe in general. When I watch the newscast in Spain, for example, all the hosts are not sitting down. They stand up, and we have a lot of 3D in the newscast. So when I watch the newscast here, I realize a lot of difference. But at the same time, it's good, because sometimes when people ask me how we can improve this, how we can do that, I can, well, in my country we do that, but I like the way that you explain the things, because here, one of the very good things that I realize in the newscast, I love that you, if it is necessary to do a video of 2 or 3 minutes, they are going to do it to explain to the audience the incident or an event. In my country, for example, we need only 130 minutes, and that's it.
Wow, like something super quick and easy.
It has to be very fast, and at the end, you don't have all the explanation to understand the situation, and that's the good thing that I observed when I was watching the TV here in Canada.
But it seems like you have such a strong asset, though, when you go into any sort of news station here in Canada, because they want to kind of see what other countries are sort of doing and maybe kind of take a little bit of those assets and improve from it.
But right? I don't know if you have the same feeling, Mauricio, because you are not from Canada. But at the same time, it's funny, or I think it's good to see how the journalists work in other parts of the world. For example, in Salvador, how is the newscast? It's very different from.
It's very different, because people generally in El Salvador, because security is an issue there, they're scared of approaching you, or even they're scared of talking to a camera. But here, when I first came in and I started interviewing people, I saw that people actually want to be in the video. And for example, I'm interviewing someone else, and then another person pops out and they say, hey, I want to be in the video too. So I interview that person too. So people here are a lot more open, maybe because that issue that I was mentioning in El Salvador for security. But another thing, that it's really easy to get to interview companies or even politics. In El Salvador, it's impossible to interview politics. Maybe because for the same issue, who knows? But they're always surrounded by police, and it's so hard to get to them. But that was one of the main differences I found out here. And in fact, when I was in my first semester, I had an assignment in which I had to interview a politician here. So I was judging that situation with my own eyes and with my own experience. So I was stressed out. I even talked with my parents. I was like, I need to interview one politician, but I don't know how to get to that politician. And then I talked to some teachers, and they tell me, oh, you just go to one event and they're hosting, and just approach them. And I did that, and I was blown away how easy it was. So that was one of the main differences for me.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, Mauricio, because one of the best things is you can talk about any kind of topic, very sensitive topics. One of the most powerful reports that I have ever watched here in Canada, it was a report about the assistants, people who have a very like cancer, and there are nurses who can provide assistance to decide to finish how I can explain that, Alex, because I think it's a very controversial topic here, but I don't know how I can explain. Try to say that it's a report in which you can see a person who has cancer who decided not to continue with his life. So he can ask for a nurse to, okay, if you want to.
Just cut the cord.
Mhm.
Yeah, cut the cord. But I mean, that is kind of sometimes the harsh side
Mhm.
for us journalists have to cover those harsh sort of stories. But it's just kind of the way that the cookie sort of crumbles on how this sort of position can be. But I mean, there is a lot of great other sides that come for being a journalist too. And there's a lot of like favorite moments. I know I have a lot of favorite moments of being a journalist, and it's those sometimes that interaction of getting to know new people. And for this new position though, for being a multimedia reporter, Gracia, what is like something you're really looking for? What like the most favorite part?
What I'm looking for to have a good interviewees, good guests, talk different topics. Not only, of course, about Fancy College, about international students, but I want to touch the hearts of the viewers. I would like to explain things that perhaps in newspapers or in TV shows we cannot talk. So, and I would like that at the end of the episode they say, "Hey, it, it was the best 30 minutes of my day." That's for me the most important thing. So, Alex, Mauricio, I think it's hard, but this is the moment that I'm going to be the host.
Hmm.
So
Oh, wait.
I hope
Wait. Sorry to cut you off. We want to finish off because you're saying you have a big heart for the viewers. We
Oof.
want the viewers to sort of get to know you a little bit more, and we're going to do a quick little lightning round.
Okay. Oof. I didn't expect this, but okay. Go.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Of course, team.
Tea,
Tea.
really? Okay.
How are you able to wake up in the morning?
Yeah.
Because I drink 2 teas or 3.
Favorite movie?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay. Favorite anime show?
Anime show right now, Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer. Yeah.
In Japanese, Kimetsu no Yaiba. And in my country, Guardianes de la Noche. I learned the titles in 3 languages.
Mauricio, you want to ask
Yeah,
the rest?
morning person or night person?
Morning person, of course.
So you don't like to go out?
I love going out and I love dance. I love going to class, but I prefer the mornings. I am morning person.
Because your brain is fresh. It's more fresh.
No, I prefer mornings. I have to be realistic.
And are you a sweet or a salty person?
I don't want to see sweet because here I had a lot of problems. Because sometimes I am a person very direct. So if I say I'm sweet, it's not going to be the reality. So I'm going to say salty. I can be sweet in a specific moment, but in my normal life, I think I am more salty.
And do you prefer dancing or singing?
Dance. Oh,
You do
Oof.
both.
I cannot choose. Guys. I love both. I can dance and singing at the same time. Hey, I didn't expect this, eh? So right now it's my moment, guys.
No,
Or
we have favorite holiday?
favorite holiday. If I have to choose between Christmas and Halloween, for example, Halloween. I am very creepy.
Let's go.
And that's the last question. What country do you want to travel the most?
Japan. It's one of my biggest dreams since I am a child. I have been dreaming more or less since I am 8 years old.
But why Japan?
Because I love anime, I love manga, I love Asian culture in general. I would like not only to travel to Japan, of course, Japan is my main goal, but I would like to travel to China, Indonesia, yeah.
So I think, Alex, it It's time.
It's time. Say goodbye to our host scripts.
You know, every beginning has an end.
Yep, it really does. I'm almost shedding a tear here.
Yeah.
But I feel that I wanted to be the host very, very fast.
But don't worry, for our audience, we'll leave you in good hands.
Yeah.
So now it's my turn, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Finally. So I want to ask you about your last year here at Fancy College. How do you feel? It's your last year, right?
Yeah.
Here? Or
So I did graduate from the journalism broadcasting program, and then I'm taking one extra year into digital communication management now. So
well, do you know what is the next step? What's
I'm really looking to become like a social media manager or some sort of communication manager, either in video games or some sort of engineering platform.
wow? So, but you have to choose between video games or to work for a big company or institution. What do you prefer, Alex?
A company?
Yeah, or a big institution, or
Ooh. Probably more of just like a company to kind of like help out with like a certain video game
wow.
to help build their like
So
sort
like
of
a studio, you're saying.
yeah, like more of like a help their social media presence on that side.
And you, Mauricio?
Well, I already have a career in my country, which is science and communications, and right now I'm here studying journalism, and I'm planning to continue in this field. I really love this field, but I want to expand my horizons and also my contacts, because that's key in growing in this industry.
But I think you should know if you want to appear on TV, if you want to be in a newspaper, or I don't know, you prefer to write or to edit videos.
I prefer to write. I love writing.
Seriously?
But and also I don't mind editing videos. I like editing videos, but I like more writing. So I hopefully I worked in Forbes for 7 years, so that's how I got my main inspiration of keep grinding in this field of writing, and I'm planning to keep expanding my horizons writing. But I'm not close to any other opportunities that life can give me.
That was really deep.
Yeah, I didn't expect this from you, Mauricio.
Yeah, sometimes you have to think
Sometimes
about
you're
it.
salty.
Yeah.
Okay. And you, Alex, you prefer to be on TV or to, for example, to write articles as
Um,
a journalist? So
I really I don't mind both. I do enjoy more actually creating like videos for on social media, so like on Instagram, even Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube videos. So I kind of want to dabble more and stay into that side of things. So that's why I thought social media management makes the most sense, because I'm kind of flexible in writing and doing video editing, audio editing, doing podcasts. So that's why I'm like, seems like it's a better way.
I think it's important because all the things that I know about social media, for example, in my case, I had to study a master, because in my degree, for example, I have never learned to how I can upload pictures for social media or posts. So in your case, Alice, you learned everything here at Fancy College, or you?
So there was a lot that I learned from the journalism broadcasting, but a lot I actually learned from working with Fanshaw's like esports sort of staff group called Fanshaw Ultimate Esports League, and I did a lot of production for them, and I help out with social media. But I actually do a lot of Twitch streaming and on the side, and do video game sort of content on my own side. So that's where I really learned all of that type of stuff.
And this year, what you would like to learn?
More statistics this year, kind of figuring all of that side out, and like breaking down on like how I did better on Twitter, and like what was the viewership looking like, and figuring all that side out.
No one said nothing about radio. What happened with the radio?
It's dying.
You think the radio's died? It's dead? And you, Mauricio?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, I don't agree because for me, right now, people in my country, for example, people prefer to listen a podcast or radio than TV, for example.
Hmm.
So here in Canada, people are more audiovisual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
The thing is that I probably, well, the radio has a lot more range than any other communication
Yeah.
method, right? But uh, since digitalization and all that, I mean, people can find podcasts on internet, and they can even find podcasts that are played on the radio on internet. So maybe, and also remember that the majority of people work and study, so probably they are not available to listen to one podcast at one exact time. But it's a good thing that there is internet, because they can listen it in another time, at a time that better suits them. So maybe that's why I feel that the radio is not that impactful as it should be. But we're not gonna discuss the range of it, because the range, it's a lot more than any other communication method, even the internet. So radio probably is the most powerful, but it's not that appealing anymore. I think, I feel.
I didn't expect that answer because I don't know. I suppose you prefer radio than other medias, but no, interesting to know that. But now I want to test you as a journalist. It's okay for you guys?
Yeah.
So I want to know what is for you the most important new in this year in Canada.
News, for me, probably the wildfires.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's an ongoing thing, and it has grown a lot, and a lot of people are blaming that to the climate change. So it has like a chain reaction in a lot of Canadians and United States, because last time New York has like an historic smoke cloud covering all over it. So probably for me, that's one of the biggest news I would like to cover personally.
Biggest news like to cover?
Yeah.
That's kind of the question.
Yeah, because I would like to know if, yeah, what kind of news do you would like to cover if you have the opportunity?
100% it would be for video games.
Video games.
Yeah.
But right now, what is the I can say Champions League, or the most important that you would like to cover?
Oh, definitely more when like the games are like making like their releases, like E3. Like I want those conferences. So like I know starting off, like Call of Duty just released all of, like their new game and their new content about it and what's going to happen, and it'd be cool to actually get to talk to more of the developers about it and to dive more into that side. And same with even another big game called Starfield that's coming out, and investigating and like actually talking to the people behind the game and hear their whole side of it and like why they came up with these ideas.
For example, if I had the opportunity, I would like to do an interview to the first Canadian who is going to travel to the moon. I don't know if you read that news, but that's one thing that I love, astronomy. I would like to know more about the stars, the planets. So for me,
So do you believe in aliens?
of course, now we know they are here.
They're already
in
here.
the planet.
Well,
Perhaps it's you.
But-
One of the could be
Probably.
you.
Who knows?
Or you, Alex.
For
You can be an alien too.
maybe. Never know.
Who knows? So, well, this is almost the end of my almost first episode. We can say first episode
Yeah.
and a half, or totally first episode.
Yeah.
I would like to end the interview with the same question that you asked me about what is your favorite movie or series. But in this case, what is the movie or series as a journalist we should watch before finishing the studies here at Fancy College?
Probably Good Night and Good Luck. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I need
It's Good Night and
another.
Good Luck.
We know that movie of George Clooney is good, but I would like another one or a series.
Probably
No, you
The Flash.
oh my gosh. If you say Superman because Clark Kent is a journalist, I accept it. But Flash,
Well, Spider-Man.
Mauricio.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Okay,
Spider-Man
we
works-
accept the Spider-Man.
Spider-Man actually works in the newspaper.
Yeah, he's photographer.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, I would like that people could watch W5. It's one of my favorite programs here, and the kind of journalism that I want to do as a reporter who can talk and analyze very sensitive topics. I recommend people watch W5. You can watch it so in any time. It's not a big deal because right now we are very busy. So, but it's like us. We have podcasts, we have YouTube channels. So right now there is no problem to know about what's going on and what happened around Canada. So, okay, I'm going to try to do it well. Thank you for listening this episode of Red Scouts podcast. You can catch up with every episode on our website or wherever you get your podcast. I know it's in Apple, in Spotify, other way to listen our podcast.
Yeah, I think or where else you can catch it on YouTube as well.
YouTube, and we have the full episode, and of course subscribe to our newsletter to keep up with Fansha. That's all wrap for the Interrupt Interrobank. I'm Gracia Espinosa.